Alright, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Siege of Avalon, here on my channel, Idle Wisdom. We're back here in the Outer Keep, second floor. Last episode, we explored more of this part of the keep. We talked to the magician Elarath. We learned a little tiny bit of basics of sorcery, I guess. And we talked to some of the other warriors here. And then we spoke with General Roth and some of the search party that went out to look for Corvus. I almost said chorus. Look for Corvus. And General Roth has reassigned us to Mudam, the master of scouts, so that we can look for our... So Callan here can look for his brother in the town. Direction. Is anybody... Mudam's chamber. Mudam's chamber is at the south end of this hall. Oh, thank you. And that is Lord Harold, the guy, a very rude dude. I don't know. And here is Mudam. Well, what's brought you around today? I've received a transfer command from Sir Roth. I'm now officially to be one of your scouts. I'm afraid I can't accept a rookie with no training to be a scout. Fortunately, however, I believe that I can fix that. Settle in, lad. First, the big secret to being a scout is keeping your damn head down. Hours pass. Well now, do you feel like you've learned anything? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was very informative. I'm glad to hear it. And I'd be happy to take you on as one of my boys. From what I've seen of you and from a thing or two I've heard, you'll make a fine addition. But why do you want to be a scout? Well, sir, I was hoping to get the chance to venture outside the Citadel. Now, why would you want to go outside of Avalon? There have been more owl patrols recently. It's hostile country out there. I know that, sir. To be honest, I wanted to search the village for clues about my brother's disappearance. Of course. I knew Corvus well. He was an excellent soldier, though perhaps I'm being a touch hasty in using the past tense. If I were you, I suppose I'd want to know my brother's fate as well. You should know, however, that I've lost many scouts recently. As a result, we know very little about what's going on in the village. There have been sightings from the south gate of strange activity, but every time I've sent a scout out to look around, they've never returned. Are you completely certain this is something you're ready for? Perhaps not, sir. Actually, that's probably true, but he has to find his brother. Absolutely, sir. But your confidence serves you well. I hereby officially accept your transfer and order you to search outside the Citadel. In addition to looking for your brother, you will be our eyes in the village. Be careful, though. It's dangerous and unknown territory out there. You should wait until sunset and then keep to the shadows. If you want to talk to someone who's knowledgeable about the terrain outside of Avalon, you should find Olon in the Outer Bailey near the merchants. If he will consent to speak with you, he would be the best source for information on what's happening outside of the walls. On happenings outside the walls. Well, thank you, sir. You will not be disappointed in me. Alrighty. We spoke with Olon a little bit before. He's the information vendor. Let's see our quest. Mudam has agreed to permit me outside of Avalon's walls to search for my brother. I am also to report to him anything unusual that I may encounter. Mudam suggested that I speak to Olon for further information concerning the village. Olon should be located in the South Bailey, near the merchants. Excellent. Adventure. Let's see. While Sir Roth may have the authority to transfer me to Mudam's command, it was up to Mudam himself to decide whether I should be allowed outside Avalon's walls. Mudam's scouts have fared very poorly as of late, with almost all of them never reporting back. I cannot help but think that as an inexperienced warrior, I am ill-suited to the task at hand, but if I am Corvus's only hope, then let come what may. If I must learn, then I shall learn. If I must grow, then I shall do so as well. The owl may leave me dead in the dust, but I will be damned by the spirits themselves if I ever cry surrender. Alright, pal, you're noble, but let's not go too far. As I owe a debt to Sir Roth, I also owe Mudam for allowing me to combine my duty to my family with my duty as a soldier. For the rest of my days, as few or as many as they may be, I shall be grateful to both of them. Man, Callan's he's a noble guy. Nice generous guy. Journal. See, Mudam looks cool. Mudam seems pleased enough to have me. He didn't have a problem with the transfer, and when I explained my situation, he agreed to let me search the village. He also said that the village is a pretty dangerous place nowadays. He warned me that few of his scouts have returned from the village recently. Mudam has asked me to scout out what the Shah Aul are up to. He is growing concerned over the increased activity in the village. Something nefarious may be in the works. He also mentioned that Olon, the merchant in the Outer Bailey, lived out there and might know a little bit. Perhaps I should go ask him. Yeah, perhaps so. Alrighties. So that's cool. Let's see. Let's look at our title. No, awards and title. Oh, still just a hunter. Alright, well. We have to make a name for ourselves, I suppose. Let's selected spell. Oh, no, nothing. Alright. Let's talk to Mudam again. So, you come back for more. I'm interested in anything you can teach me. Well then, I can provide instruction in the following. So we have 11 training points right now. And so we can get a lot of really great stuff from Mudam. So like, let's see, pathfinding, which gives us +2 to coordination. It takes 1 off our restriction, gives us 3 to stealth. That would cost 5 points. Center of balance, which is +2 to defense, -2 to hit recovery. That costs 3 points. Basic camouflage, +2 to stealth, -1 restriction, +1 to perception. That's really good. Field first aid would boost our hit points by 2 and our healing rate by 1. I'm gonna get camouflage and I think healing rate. Yes. And we'll wait on the rest for now. Bamsis. Excellent. Woohoo, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Now, what I think we're going to do... Oh wait, who are you? Oh, it's just one of the patrols, okay. I was like, who's that in that room? Let's go down here. Let's go down to the Outer Bailey. Yes. Ah, see, it's nighttime. Pretty cool. Any rumors? Nope, okay, nothing. Nothing new with them. Yikes. That door shut a little too soundly, very quickly. How about that? Good day to your lordship, and to you as well. Oh, there's that lady. What was her name? I don't remember. Pellandrian? I do not want your company. Oh, of course. Goodbye. She wants someone's company, I think, but not ours. Thought maybe she would have some information for us. Well, why would she? Not everyone has information for you. But I'm the center of the world. No, not really. Not always. Yep, sorry, I too intruded. Yep. Here's Olon. Welcome back. How go things with you? Well, things are well, Olon. I don't know if you're aware, but my brother, that would be Lieutenant Corvus, I believe. Yes, actually, he went out on a raid with General Avalon, which has since met with disaster. He was seen in the village being chased by Aul, and may still be alive. Yes, and you've been transferred to Mudam's command, and he's letting you scout out the village all alone. You realize, naturally, that going out there alone is suicide, don't you? Then again, just as naturally, I realize that telling that to people like you only convinces them to go. People like... Oh, never mind. Do I want to know how you know all this? It's my job. And no, you probably don't want to know anymore. Did you actually have any news for me, or were you looking for some information? Information? Mudam suggested that you talk to me. I don't know whether it's gratifying or annoying that he still thinks of me. I don't suppose the army has given you your pay yet, or some sort of expensive fund? Never mind. I can tell they haven't. Well, you'll not get more charity from me. But, no charity. However, I could use a favor, and I always pay back my favors. Well, what favor? Well, I have this friend who has a bit of a problem. She's nice and all, but not really anything I can do for her. Not my area, you see, and certainly out of the league of the louts you see wandering about in the Bailey. You, however, might be able to help. I know a lord, young though he may be when I see one. And what would this problem be, then? I'm afraid that it's not really my tale to tell. If Pell decides she likes you, then she'll tell you. Otherwise... And who is Pell? We know who that is. It's Pellandrian. A friend, and she has a problem. That's all you need to know. If you feel like helping, she likes watching the horses over that way. Go talk to her. I'll have to consider this for a bit. Good day. Um, why do we need to consider this? I don't. Let's see. Olon will not tell me what he knows of the village until I help a friend of his named Pell. She can be found watching horses in the outer bailey. Yay. Okay. As friendly as Olon seems, I think it would be very wise to be wary of him. The breadth of his knowledge is almost frightening, and I do not doubt that, should he wish anything, he would be able to acquire it by fair means or foul. I will admit, however, that he does appear honorable. Sure. If I do not cross him, he should not cross me. Hopefully not. Mudam and Olon seem to have a bit of history together. I wonder what transpired between them. Olon's tone was very different when he was talking about Pellandrian. Softer, or perhaps more concerned somehow. I believe him when he calls her a friend, and I believe that if I were able to help her, he would help me in return. Alright, well, let's go and see if Pellandrian is up for talking, or at least up for telling us what her issue is. She's talking to one of the stable hands. I don't feel particularly like talking with anyone right now. I understand, lady, but Olon sent me over. He seems to think that I can help with some problem of yours. Olon, finally. My name is Pellandrian, but please, call me Pell. Well, you look capable enough anyway, even if you are a bit young. Well, if you think my age, or lack of it rather, would disqualify me from helping... No, I'm sorry, I did not mean it that way. Then perhaps you would be so kind as to inform me of the nature of the problem, so that I may decide if, in fact, I can be of assistance to you. Yes, you're nothing like he is, you know. I can almost feel the force radiating from you, even without magic. But him, if I don't pay attention, it's like he's not there. Insubstantial, like the ghost of a man. But when I did pay attention... I'm afraid, lady, I don't really understand what you're saying. No, I suppose not. His name is Lahren, and he's a man I will wed. He's the man I will wed. Does he know this? All in good time. He's a scholar, you see. A linguist, actually. Language is his passion, but stories set to music are his life, the tales he could tell. But for a long time now, his tongue has been silent. His heart and lute are gone, and with them, I think, his soul. I wish you could have seen him as I first knew him. He was a quiet man, insignificant even, until you heard the music from his fingers and the words from his throat, and then, only then, could you see that his eyes and heart were far from empty. They were alive and vital, and spirits help me, I fell in love. Yes, sometimes I can hardly think of a worse fate. You jest, lady. You are young, aren't you? I do not. I never learned exactly what befell him, but for as long as I've known him, he's been deathly afraid of magic. I do not understand. What has this to do with me? Everything. I, sir, am Fornoxan, and magic is in our blood. I am magical to my very core, and nothing can change that, not even love. I told him nothing, of course, not a word of it. I just became his friend. We came to Avalon because he wanted to study the language and culture of the Shah Aul. The siege then was not yet as total as it is today. But the journey through Orium was still dangerous, as you'd expect. And his heart was set, however, and I couldn't refuse. You see, as I had longed for many months, he had begun falling in love with me, and I was not going to abandon him then. Do not ask how I knew, for Naxons have ways, and if worst came to worst, I thought I could defend us as well. And it did it not, lady? Yes. Perhaps Olon chose well in sending you to me. They came on us in the night, and Lahren was gravely wounded in the first assault, his harp splintered and flute crushed. As soon as I awoke, without thinking, I burned down the Aul where they stood. It was those dozen savage... My goodness. It was those dozen savages that cost me everything, sir. When the killing was done, I turned to him. The horror in his eyes was sickening, but I thought it was just from the attack. Then, as I stepped towards him, he tried crawling away from me. Away from me! With a shattered arm and blood leaking from his chest and belly, he tried crawling away. I had to cast hold on him and get him to keep still so I could heal him. My love was suddenly afraid of me, sir. I can hardly imagine a worse fate. I see now. I am sorry. A patrol from Avalon found us. The amount of magic I had to unleash drew the attention of the wizards here. He recovered, but he would not talk to me. He would not even look at me. It's been months now since I've looked into his eyes. I sympathize, my lady. What can I do to help? I've been watching him, of course. How could I do otherwise? And he's been changing, or his feelings have been. I cannot tell exactly how or why, though, and I cannot approach him directly. I would only scare him further, most like. But you want me to talk to him, to sound out his thoughts and feelings about you. Basically, yes. Subtlety will be required. He's far from stupid, and though he has a gentle nature, it does not preclude suspicion. Well, then I'll do my best, lady. Thank you. You should be able to find him near the merchant's wagons, just over there. Olon often keeps an eye on him for me. I will return when I have news. Bam, sis. All right. Wow. Well, that... The Lady Pell is in grievous straits. She would like me to speak with Lahren, her love, about her feelings, his feelings towards her. Lahren can be found near the merchants in the South Bailey. Adventure. Pellandrian, Pell, seemed so sorrowful and yet so determined. Somehow, her ability to burn down Owl with ease instills in me no fear, but rather wonder and respect. She would be a powerful ally to have at my side. I do not understand this, Lahren. If a creature like this were mine for the asking, I would not hesitate the span of a heartbeat. I find that in good conscience I have no choice but to assist her in her plight, and if that includes shaking sense into Lahren, then so be it. He's like, you little dummy. You dummy. Magic? It's so horrible. It's awful even. Well, here he is. This is Lahren. He didn't want to talk to us either, but he has no choice. So let's save. Yes. Bamses. Alright, Please, I just want to be left alone. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, you're obviously thinking about someone. Who is it? It's a bit... Forgive me for saying this, but you don't look like a man who should be alone. In fact, you look like you're rather desperately thinking about being with someone. I am. And what would you know about it, boy? Being young, I will admit to. Being inexperienced, I will not. You've a point, I suppose. Nevertheless, you look to be in pure misery. How can sharing your feelings with another make your fate worse? What fate worse? I used to know someone who would use an expression like that. There's no fate worse, she'd say. I never truly understood until very recently. You're thinking, there's no fate worse than loving someone, are you not? Aye, there's no worse fate. Has she joined the spirits, then? Ah, subtle. Excellent. No, she hasn't, though that would make it so much easier. I could try to forget her and move on. I regret to say that she's here in Avalon, probably no more than a 10-minute walk away. You're being a blasted idiot, then, just standing around here. Go to her for spirit's sake. No, pal, calm down. I'm afraid I do not understand. Why do you not just speak with her, then? I've already rejected her, don't you see? I cannot just go talk to her. She probably hates me, and thinks I hate her. Spirit's sake, why did you reject her? I knew her for months. We were great friends, except that I dislike magic intensely. And then I learned she was a mage, and I didn't handle it well. What's the dislike about magic? It's merely a tool that we can use, like a hammer or... Have you been speaking with Olon? He tries drilling that into my head. And I know it's true, too. It's just that there was this time. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pry. Nothing to forgive. How could you know? How could we know? From my time as a mage, I know that magic is nothing more or less than a tool. It is nothing more and nothing less than a tool. In my head, at least. But that night, it was my heart that ruled my actions. Even today, it hurts to really think about magic. But my head is beginning to win out over my heart on this subject anyway. But the thanks for this are due in no small part to her, actually. It was only after I realized that being away from her hurt so damn much that something occurred to me. Perhaps all unknowingly to be sure, but perhaps I had begun to consider her as more than a friend quite some time ago. Perhaps love for her was slowly filling my heart and slowly driving everything else out. Well, then go tell her that. I can't, damn your eyes! Too late. I just can't. And so fear keeps you here miserable and alone? Is asking for forgiveness really so difficult? I... Well, what's her name? What? I said, what's her name? Why do you want to know that? Consider it a good deed. Consider it a favor. Consider it repayment for prior acts of unkindness on my part. Consider it anything you like, but I mean to talk to this woman of yours and discover her mind on this matter. Are you mad? You can't just ask her. Do you think I'm a callous brute? Think you I have no sense of subtlety? The fact that he's totally freaking tricking you, dude. I think he's subtle. I can engage her in innocent conversation well enough, I assure you. And I can bring the subject round to love with great finesse. It is a subject most women favor anyway, and all it would cost me is a bit of my own history in exchange for a bit of hers, and then you would have your answer. My answer. My answer. It would be good to finally have one, be it one way or the other. Pellandrian is her full name, though she's loath to admit it. Too pretentious, she claims, but if you ask after her, you may need to use it. Pell is what I called her. Dearest Pell. Pell. Well, on my honor, I will seek her out for you, and we will know the heart of the matter, sorry. Until later, my friend, be patient a while longer. Alrighty. Wow. Let's see. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Yeah, informed Lahren. Alright. Lahren seems to be caught by the utter fear of perhaps having poisoned his entire life with one thoughtless action. It took some wheedling, but I believe I have led him around to the truth of his feelings and what he should do about them. I find it odd that, with his obvious fear of magic, Lahren was once a mage. Something horrible must have happened to trigger this in him, forcing him to become a linguist and a storyteller, but I have no clue what. I have no clue what. I can not read, apparently. And the ambient sound effects can barely work. Alright. You have spoken with him. I spied you doing so by the merchant's tents. Tell me, what did he say? He loves you, lady. No question. Thank the spirits. Perhaps I've not ruined everything after all. He is also in pain, much like you, if you'll forgive my saying so, lady. Yes, perhaps that's what I've been sensing. I cannot, of course, speak to that. However, I can say that his feelings for you are at least tempered by his aversion to magic. Do you know that he was once a mage? Yes, though not directly from him. Did he, by chance, tell you why he abandoned the art? No. That, I think, is something I would dearly like to know, but that would be a matter for another time, I suppose. So tell me, if he loves me, why did you not bring him with you? He's afraid, lady, of rejection, or perhaps that you would not forgive his foolish actions. He was always too willing to shoulder blame exclusively, damn him. Does he not know that I kept my heritage deliberately secret from him? The fault lies as much with me as it does with him. Think you that I could approach without provoking a poor reaction? No, lady, I believe that would be a bad idea. Love has made him a coward before the thought of you, and I imagine that were he to see you approach, he would again flee. It is a sad irony that in this instance he would be running from the pain of love rather than from any fear of you, but he would flee nonetheless. And then what would you suggest? Truth be told, lady, I know not. It is a quandary. If you cannot approach him, then he must approach you. But he insists vehemently that he cannot. He purports to seek an answer, but in his heart, I think he believes he already knows it, and it is that you hate him. You are saying then that even were you to tell him that I love him still, he would not believe you. I'm afraid so, lady. Yes, he has no confidence in anything any more, least of all in himself. Then I am lost. No, lady, I will not surrender just yet. Even if he would not accept a report of your love, he would accept a report of your anger easily enough. And if he will not approach you to proclaim his love, perhaps I can guide him to approach you to beg forgiveness. Man, our pal's really subtle. Know you already how to do this? I regret not. It is something that I shall have to consider carefully. Tread softly, friend. Our future rests in your hands. Have faith, lady. I will not fail. Wow. Jeez Louise. Callan is quite the... He's a Shakespearean level matchmaker. I must convince Lahren to talk with Pell, but if he will not confess his love to her, then perhaps he would ask her forgiveness. I can think of no way to do this, however. I shall have to talk with Lahren and hope for the best. Alright. Man, this is turning out to just be talk to Mudam and then do this quest. Well, you know, whatever. This game is as much about character interactions as it is about exploring and fighting. Although we haven't done much fighting yet. Really just those bugs. Well, let's actually save again. Save again. Because I might blow it. Yes. Did you find her? What did she say? She loves you, sir, of that I have no doubt. She remembers you, sir, but not with love. She remembers you with anger. Anger. I knew it. All along I knew it. Over then. Oh, Pell. I didn't say she hates you. I said she's angry at you. Now, please bear in mind that this is merely what she told me. And yet, as I spoke with her, I didn't really sense anger. No, I sensed something different. Different? How can anything different matter? I think that at her core, she is more hurt than angry, and that what she truly wants is for you to go to her and to ask, perhaps even beg her forgiveness. I think that would pierce the armor around her heart. Deep inside, she loves you, and if you dispelled her anger and hurt, she would have no choice but to acknowledge her true feelings. Our Pell is You think that, do you? I think you do not know Pell very well. So you believe then that the woman you love would be so very unwilling to hear an apology from your lips? Well, I don't know any more. All I know is that I cannot face her. Well then, perhaps if I conveyed to her a token of your contrition. A token? But I have nothing. Nothing? The Owl destroyed what little I carried with me to Avalon, and everything else I possess isn't even in this nation. Besides, I don't believe Pell to be so shallow as to accept a trinket as a bribe for forgiving me. You misunderstand. A gift is a tribute, a mere sign of your feelings. It's no mean bribe, but something to show her that you would give of yourself on her behalf. Perhaps, but I still have nothing. I have this dried rose. It is a traditional gift and rare to find within the walls of a besieged keep. Pell dislikes the color red. She truly hates roses. I'm no bloody rose, she'll say. I suppose the color of her hair earned her the nickname Rose when she was younger, but I really don't know. Blue is her color, blue to match her dress. I bet that she still dresses in it from head to toe. Am I right? No, it doesn't matter. I thank you for your efforts, but it is most certainly hopeless. Oh my goodness, dude. It is most certainly not hopeless. You surrender too easily, friend. Rest assured that I will return with a gift. For now, farewell. Alright. Well, let's see our quest again. I have managed to half convince Lahren to ask for Pell's forgiveness if I can bring to him a suitable gift to give Pell. But what gift, and where would I find it? I should tell Pell of this, and perhaps Olon would have a suggestion or two. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Okay, I'm no bloody rose indeed. Pell is in fact dressed from head to toe in blue, so it came as no surprise when Lahren informed me that blue is her favorite color. Well, how goes it with Pell? The problem lies with Lahren, not Pell. He refuses to believe that Pell would merely forgive him. I have him partially convinced that giving Pell a gift along with an apology might work, but neither he nor I have anything appropriate for a gift. I don't suppose you have any suggestions. I'm afraid that's also out of my area. Gold works well for most of the women I typically deal with, but Pell? I don't think so. With the siege on, there's not likely to be many items that would suit your needs, unless you feel like taking to robbing bedrooms. That I will not do. Oh, actually, we do that quite frequently, but he's not going to tell Olon about it. See, Olon doesn't know about this. See, Callan's like, haha, you don't know, Olon. No, I will not, that I will not do. There has to be something, maybe in the village. While there is a large world outside these walls, I must assume you mean the village immediately outside said walls. If so, do you realize that the owl have been looting it for months? I doubt there's a pretty rock left, let alone anything valuable. But if not in the village itself, but perhaps the owl. You mean I should take to robbing corpses? Think of it as retrieving stolen property. Huh, maybe. I doubt they'd have anything anyway. You can but try. As an incentive, here's a little information for you. I happen to know that a few people have a good knowledge of the village. Massus the friar in the chapel, and the old wizard Elaroth for another inside the outer keep. Go talk to them before you head out. And if you haven't spoken with Pell about this gift, I'd also suggest you do so. I will. Thank you. Good day, too. I'm not done yet. There's a certain house in the village that I've an interest in. I have it on good authority that for one reason or another, it is relatively intact, and you won't be able to mistake it for any other house. There should be a chest inside that is magically locked. I just need to know if the chest is actually there, and if it's intact. Got that? Yes. When I know more, I shall return. Farewell. Alright, wow. Cool. Let's go talk to Pell first. Man. Doobie-doobie-doo. Pell. Yep, there she is, blue. Yep. Freaking flaming red hair. How did he accept your words? Not as well as I'd hoped. I have managed to somewhat convince him that a gift to you might soften your heart, but we lack a suitable gift. I'm now somewhat at a loss. Oh, Lahren, he must know that I would accept anything from him. Perhaps, lady, but he would not present just anything to you. There is little enough of worth inside the keep that I fear I must look outside. You mean in the village? That would be extraordinarily dangerous, would it not? Most likely, yes. It is nighttime, however, and so I should be able to be at least somewhat safe. I need to venture outside to look for my brother anyways, and I will keep watch for anything suitable. I never expected that you would need to imperil your life for my sake and Lahren's, even indirectly. My debt to you grows, sir. Know you any magic? No, none. Magic can be a useful tool. This simple spell should prove to be of aid out in the village. Cast it, and it will help you avoid detection by cloaking you in shadows. I thank you, lady. Perhaps Olon will have some advice for you if you have not yet told him of your intentions. Remain safe, my friend. I will return soon, my lady. Excellent. Let's see, do we have it? Yes, it is. Shadow. This is like super cool. Looks, adds 50 to stealth. So now we can cast the shadow spell, I think. Anyways, hopefully we have enough magic to cast it. I don't know. Quests. Okay. Okay, I will need to search out more than just Corvus in the village. It seems my best hope for an appropriate gift for Lahren to give to Pell lies there. Something precious would be best, but I do not know if the owl carry with them anything of value. Olon wishes me to find a mostly intact house in the village and ascertain the condition of a locked chest inside. One would think that such a house would stand out among the desolate ruins. Adventure. Okay. Olon has told me that Elaroth, the wizard, and Massus the friar are knowledgeable about the village. And Pell has taught me to cast Shadow, a spell she says that will help me to avoid detection. Being friends with a Fornaxian mage has its rewards, and risks as well, considering what I've agreed to do for her. Alrighty. Cool, but that's really cool. Being a scout, this is really, really good. So, alright, well, I think actually that's going to be all we do for tonight. Man, this is... So, I want to... next time, we'll go into the keep and talk to Friar Massus and to the wizard Elaroth and see what they can tell us about the village, and then we'll actually head off into the village. So, thank you for joining me on this episode of my Let's Play of Siege of Avalon here on my channel, Idle Wisdom. Take care, y'all.